is that? It is this city of Toronto, home to the National Hockey League Hall of Fame, the Stanley Cup champion. Hockey and Toronto are one.
The following is a special presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Toronto, this city steeped in hockey tradition, home to some of the finest teams in NHL history. The old Maple Leaf Gardens played home to Stanley Cup champions, to historic series, record-breaking events, and legendary performances. Now, Toronto hockey has a new showplace, the Air Canada Centre. Tonight, the NHL's best bring their talents to center stage. Today's heroes, today's talents, all coming up from Toronto.
You guys are a little too fast for me.
All-Star Saturday next. ESPN is delighted to welcome you to All-Star Saturday in Toronto. The Air Canada Centre is the place. You talk about stars. Andre Richard looks like he can still play this game. Henderson can still score that goal. And later tonight, after we've seen the heroes of hockey play, we'll see the current members of the game play. They're now getting autographs themselves from none other than the stars they admire as we North America against the world. Welcome, everybody. It has been not just a great weekend here in Toronto, but a great few months. This city lives and breathes hockey. It loves it. This morning, they had the skate for the All-Star players. Just the warm-up skate and pictures taken. This building was sold out for that event. And the history of hockey here goes back a long way. It goes back to the first All-Star game that was played back in 1947. Of course, at Maple Leaf Gardens, it featured the NHL All-Stars against the Stanley Cup champion Toronto Maple Leafs at that time. Glenn Hall was in net in that game. Behind the bench, some of the great coaches you've ever named, Blake and Imlach. The last All-Star game played here, Bobby Orr was a youngster back in '68 when the game was played here in Toronto. This will be the 9th time that an All-Star game has been played here in Toronto. It has been a while. Bobby Orr will be one of those who will be honored as one of the legends non-playing here tonight. There'll be brother legends as well. Bill Clement.
Well, Gary, in a few minutes, the Mahavlich brothers will be going at it against one another, Frank and Peter. Frank, you don't know this. When you were skating around, I said to Peter, where is he? He said he's in a holding pattern. Now, is that any way to talk to a senator? I ask you.
I don't think it is. He doesn't appreciate things as much as I do.
Well, what people don't know is that you are, in fact, a Canadian senator. Now, does that mean you get cut any extra slack in the corners here?
No, I don't think it means anything on the ice. You know, things are as usual.
Later on. You guys combined
as usual.
You guys combined for 34 years in the league. You both played in Detroit, both played in Montreal. You played in Toronto. You didn't. Didn't Frank pave the way for you?
Well, he tried to pave the way, but things changed, and we started the junior draft back in 1963, and I got picked up by Detroit, and things went from there.
What happened to the names? You're the big M, you're the little M. I mean, what's wrong with this picture, big and little?
I couldn't figure that one out.
He used to be bigger, but he carried me for so long, he shrunk, and I kept on growing.
Guys, you better get back to the warm-up. It looks like you could use a little more.
Great, thanks.
All right, well, in a few minutes, these guys will be knocking heads in the Heroes game, and coming up after that, the FedEx SuperSkills. One of the guys that will be stopping pucks in the SuperSkills is with Darren Pang. That's Curtis Joseph. Darren?
Thanks very much, Bill. And Cujo, you're having a super year. I mean, MVP-type season, and with the Toronto Maple Leafs, you're from Toronto. What kind of pressure goes along with playing this All-Star game right here in front of the hometown friends?
I didn't think about that until you mentioned it.
Right.
Thanks a lot. No, I grew up here and obviously play here in Toronto, and it's a great honor to be able to play here in front of your fans. And yeah, there'll be a little pressure to play well, so I'm looking forward to it.
Everybody thinks goalies are real squirrely and stuff, but you guys, Mike Richter, you got Marty Brodeur walking around here with a cup of coffee. It doesn't seem like it's any different from your everyday and normal preparation.
Oh yeah, that's what you see on the outside, but we are squirrely on the inside. Stand in front of all those shots, you'll see. By the hardest shot competition, when everybody reaches 100, you'll see why we're squirrely.
Cujo, good luck, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Gary, back to you.
Darren, thanks very much. One of the greatest collection of heroes is going to be on hand here for this game. Talk about heroes. How about this? 18th season as an All-Star. Raymond Bourque, Scott Gomez. Think his heart's beating? Rookie, who's here. Welcome back, everybody, as we get set for the Heroes game, which is going to be divided into actually two halves for this one. Gary Thorne, Barry Melrose. Barry, as a young man growing up in Western Canada, Toronto was still hockey heaven.
I cheered for Toronto when I was a kid. I lived in, died with them every night they played. I play with a lot of these guys in Toronto. I coach some of them even. Yari Curry's out there. He's going to play tonight. It's going to be a blast for me to watch these guys. I had a couple coffees with them last night, so we've been talking about hockey.
Gotta like that, don't you? And this is one of the all-time great collections of hockey players, heroes-wise, because we have both the stars from the first All-Star game here, the likes of Ted Lindsay, terrible Ted, who was about as tough as they get. We'll get to a couple of netminders, including Greg Millen, who's going to be working in that jersey. Here, Palat is here. Bester's going to be in net at the other end. The Mahavlich brothers are both on hand, as you saw, for this game here tonight. The pre-expansion Leafs, who won the members of the 1940s first All-Star game in 47, in fact. Those members of that team are here as well tonight. Eddie Shack, who's wearing the cowboy hat, a unique
That's a
form
helmet
of
in the old
protection.
days, Gary. That's kind of wore in the old days. Yep, that's all you needed.
They are going to be on hand here tonight. Toronto Maple Leafs will be wearing their white and blue jerseys, all of the old Leafs. That was intended for Richard coming down the middle. So all of the Leafs tonight, pre and post expansion, will have those white and blue jerseys on, while we'll see the National Hockey League All-Stars in some form of red color out here tonight. And inside the locker room, the current All-Stars are getting set, as they will have the skills competition, of course, here tonight. That will be followed by the All-Star game we'll have on ABC for you tomorrow, 2:30 in the afternoon.
Gary, the more you see the new jerseys that the NHL are creating with all the new teams, the more you appreciate the simplicity and the beauty of the old jerseys. The Montreal Canadiens, Detroit Red Wings, the Toronto uniform. Very simple, but it's so perfect for sports. It's the way it should look.
Look at Henry Richard. Do you believe it? In practice yesterday, many were saying he looks not a whole lot different than he did 20, 30 years ago on the ice. He is still as smooth a skater as you'd ever want to see.
That was the French line. You got Cournoyer, you got Laperriere, you got Richard, you got Gilbert. Peter Mahavlich was the only non-French speaking person on that line, so that's why Peter didn't touch the puck. He couldn't call for it in French. There's Laperriere right there. Coach of Boston, helping Pat Burns coach, doing a great job.
One of the great defense coaches in the National Hockey League.
Great defensive mind.
They will play 6-minute, a couple of 6-minute periods here for these two teams.
And that's all they want.
And/or 10-minute halves. That changes from moment to moment up on the board, as a matter of fact. Pete Stemkowski along the near side boards had that one knocked away. McKenny out there on D. Stemkowski moving in, great setup. Alan Bester with a big save. What a play by Bester on the save. Greg Mahavlich is out there. Mahavlich.
Pete Stemkowski was traded late yesterday after a bad practice. He said he had bad practice. They traded him, put him on the other team rather than Toronto.
I want to remind you the National Hockey Night Flyers Maple Leafs, when the regular season resumes, will be at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on Wednesday. A doubleheader. Stars, Mighty Ducks will follow at 10 o'clock. Then on Thursday, it'll be the Red Wings and the Blues at 7, and the Flames and Avalanche coming up at 10. We will keep you posted on the Heroes game as they move along, but we want you to see some of the old and new stars. Bill Clement with Mike Modano. Bill?
Gary, thanks very much. I heard Barry Melrose talk about what a kick it is to be involved in this All-Star game since it's in Canada. You grew up in Livonia, Michigan, which is a suburb of Detroit. I'm interested in the take of an American kid on having the All-Star game here in Toronto.
Well, it's still just as a thrill as being Canadian. I think being in Detroit, we're close to Canada, being across the river there. So we had access to a lot of hockey night in Canada. So I grew up watching the Maple Leafs like everybody else did.
What are we going to see you in the skills?
God, I think I'm in rapid fire. Then we'll see that in the breakaway.
I don't want to touch on a sore subject, but I want to ask you anyway. Is there something about the water in Dallas? I mean, you guys with all of the injuries, that you are healthy, aren't you?
I feel okay, but, you know, knock on wood that we don't get anything else the rest of the year.
You know, Gary, the guys talk about the lack of respect on the ice. Whatever happened to the respect for the broadcasters, huh?
I didn't know we had any.
Well, we don't.
Not from the get-go, and certainly not now. No score here with we're going through the first 6 of what will be 2 6-minute periods. And then we will have the post-expansion All-Stars and Toronto Maple Leafs out here to play it out on the ice.
Those are my guys. That's my generation. Post-expansion. You never want to be pre anything. You notice that? You always want to be post.
Always want to be.
Yeah, pre's bad.
Konica reached in, tried to knock that one away, and I'm never sure what expansion really means. Whether that
It means guys like me got to play.
Deals with hockey or the waistline. I'm not quite sure. The Toronto Maple Leafs, as we said, side in the white uniforms, and they are, we've got Brian Conacher, Jim McKinney, Larry Hillman, Mike Watson, Ron Ellis, Normie Ullman, Jim Pappen are out there. Paul Henderson, Eddie Shakir, Bob Nevin, Alan Bester's in net, Frank Mahovlich playing, and Fleming Mackel, who was just a rookie in the first All-Star game that was played here.
There's a pretty big age disparity out. You got Boris Salming, looks like he could still play in the NHL. You got some guys over 60 years old.
Boris Salming yesterday in the practice that they had, and they couldn't help but play a scrimmage game for about an hour. Skated, I swear, for about 45 minutes straight. He looked great. There's Boris Salming, elected to the Hall of Fame, and the first from his country to have that great honor, and one of the first of the big star European players.
Gary, I think personally, I play with Boris. I know what he's like. He played when hockey was a dangerous game in Philadelphia and in Boston. I personally think he's one of the top 5 or 6 defensemen ever played. One of the bravest, most talented men I've ever seen.
A highly skilled player. Little check on the near side. Mahovlich put the hit on. That may be more than we'll see in our game on ABC tomorrow. That may be the biggest contact of the weekend.
There's no need for that in today's game.
No score. Heroes of hockey action. Current heroes signing autographs. Crew on hand with you here from ESPN and ABC. 1980 Olympics. Rizzioni had that goal, and all the memories of the miracle on ice that so created an interest in hockey. Slava Fetisov was the captain of the Red Army team at that time that couldn't believe they were actually defeated. As big as that goal was, Paul Henderson had one of the biggest goals ever in Canadian history, Bear.
I think the biggest goal ever. I remember I was in Weyburn, Saskatchewan in grade 10. Weyburn Red Wings, unbelievable, that goal.
Darren Pang.
Well, for as big, you're right, as that goal is for the United States, that goal that you scored, as Barry Melrose just alluded to, just a phenomenal feeling, and the pictures go on forever and ever, Paul, about that goal.
Well, it's been a nice ride, 27 years, and I'm still not tired of it. Hey, Barry, how are you up there?
Good, Paul. How are you doing?
Good to see you, old buddy.
As far as the goal that they scored in 1980, did you get a sense of feeling that that was as important to American hockey as what you did for Canadian hockey?
Oh, no question about it. I was watching them. I mean, everybody wanted to beat the Russians, and I watched that game. I can remember that American game like it was yesterday also.
Is it something coming into this building? This is not Maple Leaf Gardens that you once played in.
Yeah, I'm finding it's a little wider, Darren, a little wider. But listen, I'm making the. I told these two line mates, I'm the shooter, not the playmaker. Let's get this thing right. They've forgotten.
Paul, great stuff. Always remember that goal. Fellas, back to you.
Darren, in the games in that series, he had the game-winning goals in games 6, 7, and 8.
Nobody's ever done it. It was unbelievable to do that night after night after night in Russia, after traveling. All of Canada wrote those guys off. The courage and passion they showed in '72 was the greatest series ever in hockey. I don't think anything will ever match it.
No, it was one they tried to match after that and could not do it. The excitement of it was incredible, and to have that kind of a history. I mean, Henderson became a national hero.
Overnight, 3 games. No one even knew about him till then. Now he's the greatest hero in Canadian hockey history.
Absolutely unbelievable, and Henderson getting a chance to shine here as the legends continue to go at it. Our heroes of hockey game, as we said, in the 2 sections with the Leafs and the All-Stars in the pre- and post-expansion eras. We are looking right now, we think, most of the time at the pre. But Boris Salming has decided he's supposed to pre and post, and he's been out there already.
Gary, I think we're going to have a protest thrown by the post or pre-expansion NHL, because Boris Salming definitely should be on the post-expansion. He'd be the best player on the post-expansion. So I think they got a protest here if they want to, if they do lose this game. And I think it'll hold up.
That one got kicked away. Frank Mahovlich picked up a goal on a penalty shot that was awarded to him just a moment ago. Take a look at the goal that was scored by Mahovlich.
Well, right here you're going to see the Big M, beautiful skater. He's interfered with a little bit here, but look at the focus this man shows. Nothing bothers him. Greg Milne is a little young. He doesn't know that was Frank's favorite move on a penalty shot. An older goaltender like Darren Pang would have known that and picked that up over his shoulder.
And there is Mahovlich, who is back out on the ice. 18 seasons, 1,103 points.
50 goals at least once, I know.
6 beautiful rings.
Wow, what a great skater. One of the first big power forwards, 6'2", could skate, could shoot. A guy who could really put defensemen down when he wanted to. Just a terrific player.
Intimidating player.
He was. His speed really sky. I played against him in the WHA, and I have visions of him going around me a couple times. but I got so many guys in those visions, I can't really keep track of them.
Those are just the two you remember.
But he was great. He was a great talent, boy.
Pavel is kind of ahead of his time in that regard. 533 goals and played the kind of game you get an Eric Lindros playing in today's game.
And he was 6'2", and there weren't 6'2" forwards that could skate like him in those days. He was one of the first guys that had size and the skating ability.
But coming up the near side, Rod Gilbert, former New York Ranger, will handle the puck. Dumped out through center ice. I'll tell you, these guys ought to be tired after the way they played yesterday. They can't help themselves. Every year, these players who are on the Heroes teams have an opportunity to skate the day before. And invariably, even though it's supposed to be just a skate and a warm-up, they end up scrimmaging. And they stay forever.
Because it's so much fun. They get together, they're telling stories, they're giving each other crap from the years before. They played against each other. That's what hockey's all about. That's what makes the sport special. Getting back to your buddies and laughing and joking.
And they did a lot of that yesterday.
Did a lot of it.
Jacques Laperriere knocked
sweating. Don't forget sweating.
They did that too. Set up pass in front. Laperriere again blocked that one off the near side. Gilbert is able to clear it out. Go through some of these names, and you remember I do as a youngster growing up to see them out here.
Well, I was a Toronto fan. Those three French players were just out there. Cornwall and Henry Richard beat Toronto a lot of times when I was young. Well, I cried myself to sleep a lot of nights because of those two guys.
Yvonne Cornwall had it down low on Millen that time, knocked away. Henry Richard went back in behind the net. We'll play it off the near side boards. Taken away and dumped back on Hillman. Played it off the near side. Solming's out there along the point with him. Again, the Maple Leafs 2-on-1, not quite on the setup. They are in their blue and white uniforms for the pre-expansion Leafs that you're looking at out there. You got to remember how long it's been for some of these guys playing in the National Hockey League, and look at the way they are skating and playing. Some of it is never forgotten. Pavel down low, banked away off Bester. That went under the stick of Andy Bathgate. Kenny cleared that one out to the far side, and the Leafs have it back going down the other way.
One of the most popular Leaf players ever to play here, Jim McKinney. There's more Jim McKinney stories in this building or in this city than any other Leaf player. Not all of them are positive either. I might add, what a character he was.
Larry Hillman was over on the far side and knocked that one away. 1-0 still. Minute 12 left to go here in the first half of this four-quarter game is what it's going to end up being with 4 6-minute periods. We showed you the man who was wearing the cowboy hat out there, the indomitable Eddie Shack. Some things don't change. He came in the warm-up with that cowboy hat on, and he kept it on to play in the game. He was known as the entertainer, but he was a very solid hockey player. 20 goal seasons, 5 times, 17-year career, 6 different teams, 3 All-Star games, the first ever MVP in '62 at an All-Star game, member of 4 Stanley Cup championship teams. Eddie Shack, and the entertainer lives. Let's go down to Bill Clement.
Gary, yeah, with Eddie Shacky, this is just like the newest in helmets you're modeling here?
It's a Biltmore. It's the one of the latest coming out. Taggart wants one, but he's not going to get one. Trust me on that department.
You got that award from the Hockey News, the most entertaining player ever. What about the 17 years of playing and the 239 goals?
I don't know, but they feel that I'm an entertainer, but I think I'm a hell of a goal scorer. Oh, look at that, we just got one. All right.
Gary.
Has got 2. Hang on.
They obviously haven't looked at the scouting report. They haven't got a man on him. He's wide open every time he touches the puck.
Greg Mahavlich has made this a 2-0 game for the pre-expansion Leafs. He has had both of them against Greg Millen.
Puck comes behind the net. This is vintage NHL games. Green in front, one-timer in the far post. And I think Greg Millen's just blamed one of his defensemen in front of him right there.
And Pappen out there helping to set up a screen. Jimmy Pappen down in front. Our heroes, the legends of the National Hockey League, continue to play while the Stars up today get ready with the skills competition that'll be coming later on tonight. We'll be back to Toronto in just a minute. Post-expansion Leafs and All-Stars, and Tiger Williams charges the goaltender. Gee, what a surprise.
Tiger gets pushed a lot more now than he used to when he played. I can guarantee you that one. When he used to come in net and drill your goal, you really have to decide if you're going to push him back or not.
More PIMs than anybody's ever had in this game. Tiger Williams has got Daryl Sittler out there at center with him and Lanny McDonald on a wing.
That line played together in Toronto in the late 70s. Very good line.
Gloria Salming is double shifting for the Leafs. He played in both the post and pre
I
here in
smell
this
a
game.
rat in this thing. Toronto's trying to win both these games.
Ian Turnbull was out there. Chance for a break-in on Salming, and that one's going to roll away from Anderson. Glenn Anderson, rather, who is out. Bester stays in net here at this end. He will be in the white, and Greg Millen stays in at the other end. Marcel Dion reaching in on Solving. Third back out to Tiger Williams. Sittler still at center. That's Williams. Solving will dump it back in. Brother Acts have appeared in the National Hockey League 7 previous seasons on the same team. We're going to get to see that again tomorrow. Darren.
Gary, this 12th time in All-Star competition that we've had brother combinations, and I'm with Valerie Bure and Pavel Bure, the older brother, and for both of you, this is quite unique and it's quite special. I know you played on the silver medal winning team in Nagano, but what does this mean to you, Valerie, making this club and having such a great year in Calgary?
Well, it means quite a bit, you know, talking about me making it, you know, people start realize what I did this year and what I accomplished, and that's mean a lot. And coming to you know, All-Star weekend, it's just been great. My family's here, my mom, my brother, of course, and my wife made it. She's only 2 weeks from having a baby, and it's just been great so far.
Well, it's very neat when you've got your older guy that's at least a 2-time 60-goal scorer and heading for that direction again. So proud of him, Pavel. Everything seems to be going well for you in Florida, but even more so, kind of topping on the cake, you're having this guy here.
Yeah, it's just so great to be around him, around his wife, my mom, and you know, we don't really have a chance to see each other during the season because he's playing in the West and playing in the East, and it's just great. We can spend a few days together.
Well, Pavel, you kept saying this guy's a great hockey player. You're right on the mark. You'll be a good scout. Good luck, fellas. Gary?
Darren, thanks very much. We're keeping a running score in this game now. We just move on from where we were. Mahavlich had 2 for the pre-expansion era Stars of the Leafs, and now it is a 3-0 game as Rick Vive has picked up a goal. 3-0 for the Leafs, so the All-Stars battling here to get one by. Alan Bester is in net at the near end.
Ricky Vive looks like he could still play. He looks in great shape, better shape now than when he played. I played with him here in the early 80s. Great passing here. DeLego goes to Errol Thompson to Ricky Vive, and there's Thompson at the side. So great passing play. Man, that looks like the Edmonton Oilers. Defenseman jumps in. Ricky just touches. 50-goal score a couple times in the NHL. He knows what to do with it.
First Leaf to be a 50-goal scorer in a season. And as you said, did that a number of times, 13 seasons, the 788 points, 13-year career.
Gary,
in the National
I'll
Hockey
always
League.
remember the night he got 50 because I got my first that year the same night.
You don't forget that, do you?
I don't forget that.
Whoa, that's a pretty big night right there, both ways.
Yeah, we got two goals that night for us, 51.
Marcel Dion was in the middle. Ian Turnbull pulled that one away. Greg Millen will come down at the other end to play that. Doug Wilson. Dougie Wilson's another guy who looks like he could well play.
There's 2 guys on this team that could maybe give Al MacInnis a run for the shot. Dougie Wilson and Reed Larson, both are the hardest shooters that have ever played. It'd be interesting if they could get out there and shoot against Al. They might be the only 2 guys in this building that could beat Al MacInnis.
That was Brad Park who got deflected there. Bill Clement's got a guest on the bench right now. Bill.
Got Lanny McDonald there, Gary, a guy whose mustache looking a little grayer, but the legs are still looking young, Lanny.
Oh, they feel good out there. Tiger's got to get the puck up to Darryl and I. What's he thinking?
It was always Tiger, right?
He thinks he's a scorer now. I don't know. He's playing too much old-timers hockey.
Okay, you guys got to run. Is that it?
Go, Billy. There's time.
Okay, see you guys. Nice talking to you.
They aren't going to miss shifts, are they? It is a 4-0 game now as Fergus of the Leafs from Osborne and Boutet makes it a 4-0 game.
Those are 3 pretty young guys in that line. The Toronto Maple Leafs got a pretty good young lineup in this post-expansion. Patty Boutet, nice saucer backhand pass. No one even tried that in the NHL today. Right here, Fergus comes in late, throws in. Greg Millen picked the wrong team to play, wrong year to play.
Fergus with a big smile on his face. Tom Fergus comes away with goal number 4. A 12-season veteran in the National Hockey League. And a 4-0 lead as the NHL Heroes have not been able to find a way to get one on. We'll get a whistle and a face-off. We are in Toronto here on ESPN, part of our All-Star Weekend. With the Heroes on the ice to be followed by our skills competition. And, of course, tomorrow on ABC at 2:30, the All-Star Game. The Fan Fest here at the Metro Toronto Convention Center. Thousands, tens of thousands. The cup is on hand there to be touched and held, and some people would like to have our jobs.
Not many guys can take our jobs, Gary. Come on.
Not tonight they couldn't, I'll tell you that.
Solid.
And the young fans on hand here getting autographs
Those
as
guys
well.
can take our jobs.
They are us.
That's a helmet head. Those are my buddies from Philadelphia, or from Phoenix. Those are my people from Phoenix right there.
Those are your tickets for tonight.
They give me new helmets every couple weeks. They send me a new helmet for the helmet head.
Tiger Williams pushed that one ahead. Peter Stastny playing in this game. Steve Shutke, Lapointe, Yari Curry, Marcel Dion, Brad Park, part of the NHL All-Stars. There's Tiger. They were just talking to Daryl Sittler, Bill was, about that. Tiger wants to shoot. He's playing right in front of the net.
Again, Tiger does what he wants. Not many people will say, Tiger, don't shoot. Pass. Let him do what he wants.
NHL All-Stars looking for one. Great save on Dion by Bester. Wow.
You know what, Alan? I was talking to Alan. He knows there's 2 more teams coming into the NHL next year, and he knows that's 5 more goalies. So he's having a good night tonight.
Minnesota Wild, one of those. Their representatives on hand here tonight, along with the Columbus Club. Both of them will be coming in next year. We've talked a lot about Börje Salming. There is, Barry said, few who play this game any better than Börje Salming played it. 17 seasons in the National Hockey League, 787 points. He's among the heroes of hockey on hand here for tonight's game. Börje Salming played this game with such great grace for a European that many wondered whether the Europeans were ever going to make it in this league. Börje Salming answered that question in a hurry. Darren.
And you played with Börje Salming, NICKLAS LIDSTROM, in 1991 on the Canada Cup team representing Sweden.
Yeah, that's right. I did have a chance to play with Börje before he went back to Sweden.
And he was a major influence on not only yourself, but so many defensemen, players, mobile guys growing up in Sweden.
Yeah, well, he led the way for many European players, not only Swedes, but many other countries too. So he was kind of the first guy that really made it over here.
You know, I'm looking at this locker room. We were just kind of kidding about this, but this is one quiet locker room. A lot of young guys kind of looking around, huh?
Yeah, that's right. You can see the different cliques here in the locker room. You have the Czechs, the Swedes, the defense, and everybody's talking their own language. So everybody's happy to see their old friends.
First time Eiserman and Shanahan go in the corner. What do you got for them?
We'll see what happens out there. I think I have to line up against him a few times out there, so we'll have to see what happens.
NICKLAS, great work once again.
All right, thank you.
Fellas?
Nicky Lidstrom, who's going to be one of the captains for the All-Star game tomorrow, and they light the lamp for the 5th time revive.
Those guys are too young to be playing in an Old-Timers game. Those guys are still good players, Billy and Ricky. Holy man. That puck was side as it. Billy could always pass the puck really hard, and Ricky could always one-time it really well. Great on the boards. If he didn't let his hair grow gray, Gary, he'd still look like he was 25 years old. Look at that. Snapped it right across. Ricky used a real heavy, strong stick, real heavy shaft to it. Billy fakes his shot, freezes the goaltender. Greg Millen gets no help from his defenseman. Puck goes across, and Ricky shoots it in the far side.
Break 5, Bill Derlego, the man who set him up, a 9-year veteran Derlego, and they've worked well together. And it is a 5-0 lead now for the Leafs with 2:41 left to go. Our heroes game going on. Fergus dumped that one off into the corner. Let's check in downstairs with one of the future stars we're going to see, Bill Clement.
Thanks, Gary. Here with Brendan Shanahan, terrific scorer in his own right. Naturally, you'll be going in the accuracy shoot competition tonight.
That's about all I do.
Yeah, but you do it really well. I mean, you won in '94, you won in '98. You're a natural. I mean, I've kind of been lobbying for you to have the name. I mean, I think we should name this competition after you.
I'm not that good at it.
Wait a minute. Last year, I mean, you said, look, I can't break 4 of them with 3 shots. I think if you just caromed one off one, couldn't you?
You make it sound easy. Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Here. You try it. You do it. You go take my spot. All right, bro. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, he's looking for an excuse.
Well, I got one problem. This is a right-hand shot, and I'm a left-hand shot.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Gary, excuses. All the time, excuses.
Nice job, Shanny. Another guy who wants to get into this business.
He might get our jobs. I borrowed one of Shanny's sticks today. I skated with Gretz up at the Gardens today. 2 goals, 3 assists with Shanny's sticks. So those are pretty good sticks.
You want to hang on to that one? I think
could play with that.
Hang on to that one.
I also got Gretz assignment, so it's really increased in value.
The NHL All-Stars are on Marcel Dion. Ride that horse.
One of the top goal scorers in NHL history, Marcel Dion. Unbelievable goal scorer, unbelievable speed, unbelievable agility. He was hard to play against, Gary. That triple crown line in LA with Taylor and Simmer. They had the size of Simmer. They had Dave Taylor working down low. So good defense when they had Marcel with his speed. Again, puck goes from one side of the ice to the other. Good movement here. Oh, man, these guys look nice play together. Touchstone off Alan Bester's side.
Peter Stastny, one of those who's helped set him up 5-time 50-goal man. Marcel Dion
up there.
Peter Stastny is in playing condition.
Oh, man.
And Bester comes up big again on Brad Park.
I played with Parky. Parky's not quite as quick as he used to be when I played with him in Detroit. One of the best guys to run a power play I've ever seen in my life. Even late in his career, he'd bring the puck up the ice, he'd draw a couple guys to him, throw it through their feet. Great passer of the puck. Unfortunately, he always played the same time as a guy called Bobby Orr, and he never got his recognition that he should have got.
With only 23 seconds left to go, the NHL All-Stars have pulled their goaltender to try and get at least one more off Bester, but they've not come easy, and that's why Shutt had the last chance. Doug Wilson before him had it knocked away. Dion's goal. Anderson and Larson got the assist. So Frank Mahovlich has had two. Rick Vive has had two. Fergus picked up the other, and then Dion got one, and there's the empty netter at the other end. And the heroes, pre and post for the Leafs and the NHL. Finish in a 6-1 Leafs win as Sittler will get credit on the empty netter.
That was a tough lineup to beat. The NHL heroes were in tough against this Leaf lineup. There were a lot of Leaf players that wanted to play. You had to play over 300 games for the Leafs to get on this team. I was on the C team. I think I played 150 games. I wasn't even close to making this roster. So that was a stacked lineup.
A lot of Hall of Fame members.
Yes.
Right there on the ice right now. Our Super Skills brought to you by FedEx coming up from Toronto. When we come back as the full house on hand here, some 18,819 plus at the Air Canada Centre have seen some of the greatest names in this game play here tonight. The 50th anniversary of the All-Star game. 6-1 the final. The Leafs over the Heroes. We'll be right back. Dallas Stars opened the 99-2000 season with a celebration, their first ever Stanley Cup championship. But repeating is never easy. Early on, the Stars discovered they were going to be a marked team. They were ravaged by injuries, but they have managed to survive, in fact excel. In Pittsburgh, another kind of survival.
Pretty tough. It was about 10 months of hard work and working with lawyers and business people, and it was a tough deal to go through.
Lemieux's success has kept the NHL's brightest star shining in Pittsburgh as Jaromir Jagr has assumed the torch, passed down from a legend now in his rightful place.
Please welcome Wayne Gretzky, inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame in the player category.
I'm so honored and thrilled that the National Hockey League has put me into the Hockey Hall of Fame. It's the greatest game in the world, and I thank you all very much.
The new era has seen an impressive group of rookies. This year, those rookies have been led by Scott Gomez of New Jersey, center Michael York of the Rangers, left wing Alex Tanguay of Colorado, and a pair of fresh faces in Buffalo. Their goaltender Martin Briand and right winger Maxima Fedegeno. Then the ugly side.
I strongly believe in the long-term future of our club in Ottawa. Depends on players respecting the contracts they agreed to. As a result, we will not consider a trade for Alexei.
We've taken a position as of December 28th that Keith needs to be back playing with us. He decided not to.
I'd like to thank all the guys for showing up. And I hope you guys win the Stanley Cup this year. I'll miss you guys.
For Cordell, a tough ending, but on the plus side, milestones. The Blues' Pierre Turgeon, 400 goals, came in October. Doug Gilmour of the Blackhawks joined that same club. So has Detroit Red Wings' Brendan Shanahan. The Rangers' John McClain reached the mark by dialing long distance into an empty net. And the Blues' Stéphane Richer rounded out the 400-goal quintet with a patented blast. The 600-goal club welcomed two new members. Brett Hull joined it on New Year's Eve. Steve Yzerman reached 600 goals and 1,500 points. With this assist, Colorado's Joe Sakic notched point number 1,000. Turgeon reached that mark with a goal. And Carolina's Ron Francis attained a higher plateau, setting up a goal for point 1,500. However, for all the goals, assists, saves, and honors, The games become secondary when reality checks in.
Turned out I had it. They told me after the game, and apparently it has been caught early, and it's a fairly low grade at this point. It's treatable, and every day I go to the doctor, I feel more optimistic.
For the first half, always the numbers that matter. And the point leaders, Jaromir Jagr, who'll be here, who is here, leading with 80. Pavel Bure has passed him in goals scored. For defensive points, Sandis Ozolic the leader. The rookie man is Scott Gomez, one of two rookies who's here for the All-Star game. Martin Brodeur, 31 wins, leads everybody, and Brian Boucher with that goals against. The overall standings right now, and Mark, this is overall. New Jersey's the #1 team at the All-Star break. Pretty close, though. St. Louis, Detroit, Toronto, Florida, Phoenix, and Dallas. Barry Melrose, one of the delights for the second half of the season coming up, actually a little less than that left, is going to be the race for the playoffs again. A ton of teams ready.
That's what makes the NHL special this year, is there are a lot of teams that can win the Stanley Cup. So that means moves are going to happen. It's going to become very important. A couple of teams I think have to do something if they're going to win the Stanley Cup are Detroit Red Wings. I think right now I like the most, but they got to do something goaltending-wise. The goaltending has been erratic. It hasn't been strong. Osgood has won the Stanley Cup, but the guy that's most interesting to me is Hasek. He's announced that this is his last year. He has been hurt. He's played one game this season. Now, what does Buffalo do with him? They got a great young goaltender in Marty Biron who's played very well. Do you trade Hasek at the deadline to a Detroit or somebody and get a young player back? It's going to be interesting how they handle Hasek.
We're talking about Hasek as a rent-a player, then maybe.
And again, another team that might be willing to rent a player is the Philadelphia Flyers. They've got everything now. They go out and get Primo. They're not done yet. Van Beesbrook has taken a team to Stanley Cup Finals, has played great at that level, but he has played erratic this season. He's been up and down. He's been hot and cold. So maybe Philadelphia, with their deep pockets and a chance to win the Stanley Cup with all their talent, they might go out and go after a guy like Hasek or a Happy Bullen also.
Barry, Dallas has found out how tough it is to win again. I mean, one of the reasons, a ton of injuries. How about them?
Well, Dallas is a team I think need defense. They win with defense. They got to have those big defensemen back. Don't forget, Chambers might not play this year anymore, and they lost Ludwig. A guy that might be interesting is Mark Tenorti. He's coming off an injury. I got to think everyone says he'll be ready near the end of the season. This guy is a physical force. He's hard to play against. If you're going to beat teams with Lindros and Primo on it, you're going to need a 6'4" tough defenseman. And Dallas has had Tenorti before, so they know what he's like.
Now, the New Jersey Devils are clearly have some great depth and players willing to move. There?
Again, I think they need defensive help. And again, a guy like Tenorti would be the man there. He can move the puck. He's a physical force. You never have enough players like Tenorti on your team, and you put him with Scott Stevens and Odlin back there and those guys. Who would want to play against the New Jersey Devils? They got lots of scoring, and they got young scoring this year, which is very important, and they got the goaltender Brodeur.
Now, one of the teams that's vied for #1 in the National Hockey League and, in fact, had that position for a lot of the first half, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, this team has got everything. I like this team a lot, but they got to get tougher. I've said all season long, this team has to get tougher, and they've already done that. They went out and got Wendell Clark, physical player, can play any style, always plays better in the playoffs than the regular season. And Gerald Diddick, he's just coming into the lineup now. A 6'3" defenseman that can hit, can fight, really play tough. And I think they're going to add more toughness to the lineup because they got enough skill and they got the goaltender. They got to be gritty enough to beat Philadelphia and New Jersey.
I think one of the most underrated teams, because it just doesn't seem to generate a lot of publicity, is the St. Louis Blues.
Joel Quenneville, coach of the year this year as far as I'm concerned, does more with less than anybody in NHL. But again, they got to get defensemen. And a guy that's interesting, Sylvain Cote is a free agent with Chicago. This guy's a very good defenseman. Chicago's not going to sign him, I hear. This guy could be available at the deadline, give up a young player, a young prospect for him. He can play a lot of minutes. They don't need a big physical defenseman because they've got Pronger and MacInnis. They just need another guy that can move the puck out of that zone and play good defense. Sylvain Cote would be a good fit for St. Louis.
Now, last year at the break, we asked one Barry Melrose, who seems to be present, as to who might win the Stanley Cup. Now, Barry is never one to take praise, self-praise. Who'd you pick?
Well, I picked Dallas. I hate to say it.
Barry won.
I picked Dallas, and they won. So that's why I'm paid a lot to be the analyst for ESPN.
Well, earn your money again. Who's going to win it this year?
I like Detroit. They just got so much composure, so much passion. They lost last year. They don't like that feeling. They're going to do some stuff at the deadline. They always do. I like the Detroit Red Wings right now.
Okay, we're going to have an adult beverage on this because I picked Colorado at the beginning, and I'm staying with them right now.
Okay. We'll be there at the end.
Adult beverage. Okay.
All right.
We've seen the heroes. We're going to see the stars of today. The skills competition coming up when we return to Toronto. The SuperSkills competition with the captain Raymond Borky and Nicky LIDSTROM are the captains this year for the North American and World All-Stars. Toronto, Canada, home of the Hockey Hall of Fame, a city that lives and breathes Canada's national pastime. This weekend, it hosts the All-Star Game. Tonight, their stuff. You'll see great goaltending, the fastest skaters, and the hardest shooters. It's the FedEx NHL SuperSkills coming at you next. Welcome back, everybody, on ESPN. We welcome you to Toronto as we continue our Super Saturday and our All-Star Weekend. The Air Canada Centre is the place, and our Super Skills competition is about to come. Barry, might be worthwhile for fans who may not follow to point out how the selection process goes to get these players who we're going to see in the Super Skills competition, because every team has their own competition.
Well, every team during a season has a competition, and it's open to the public. I think the money goes to charity, and some of the buildings are packed. Toronto was a full house when they did it here, and they have a blast, and then it's just a mini segment just to get ready for what they do tonight. So it's something that the NHL uses now to gain interest and also money for charity, so it's worked out very well.
Great cause and a great effort by the National Hockey League. The events that we are going to see tonight involve both team and individual skills. We'll start with the puck control relay, the fastest skater, which is always exciting. Barry's favorite, the hardest shot.
The Al MacInnis Trophy, I call it.
Al MacInnis Trophy, that's right. The rapid fire, which is a test of the goaltenders. Our shooting accuracy.
The Ray Bork Trophy.
The Ray Bork Trophy right there. He was talking with Brendan Shanahan. Bill was about that. And our breakaway relay, where they go in a team race. All of that coming up here. They do keep score. Speaking of charity money, for the NHL Fighting Cancer, there was a marathon game played here in Toronto on the rink outside. It was just shy of 3 days long. Final score was like 381 to 340. 180 players were involved in it.
And you got to understand, it was played outdoor, and the weather hasn't been great here in Toronto. It's cold here in Toronto. You got to have a coat and a scarf and gloves. So again, that shows why this country's special, why this city's special. This has been a phenomenal 2 days also, and tomorrow's going to be fantastic. So
shinny game with 180 players.
A 3-day shinny game.
That's not bad, is it? Yeah. And all the money that was raised, they had corporate sponsors that donated money for every hour that was played. Gotta love that kind of stuff.
Marathon.
That's why we're in Toronto. They do that stuff and do it well. When we come back, great stars like Messier and Jaromir Jagr, and who's going to try and stop them? Cujo coming up. All-Stars. Let's go to the PA and Andy Frost.
Matching North America All-Stars against the world. First, let's meet the NHL World All-Stars. From the St. Louis Blues, #1, Roman TUREK. From the Atlanta Thrashers, #2, Peter Buzak. From the Detroit Red Wings, #5, NICKLAS LIDSTROM. From the Calgary Flames, #8, Valerie Bourret. From the Colorado Avalanche, #8, Sandis Ozelich. From the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, #8, Teemu Selanne. From the Florida Panthers, #10, PAVOL Bure. From the Ottawa Senators, #14, Radek Bunt. From the Colorado Avalanche, #23, Milan Hajduk. From the Tampa Bay Lightning, #23, Peter Svoboda. From the Carolina Hurricanes, #24, Sami Kapanen. From the New York Islanders, #25, Mariusz Czerkawski. From the Florida Panthers, #25, Victor Kozlov. From the New Jersey Devils, 6, Patrick Elias. From the Montreal Canadiens, number 26, Martin Ruchinski. From the Phoenix Coyotes, number 27, Teppo Numminen. From the Edmonton Oilers, number 35, Tommy Salo. From your Toronto Maple Leafs, number 36, Dimitri. From the Washington Capitals, number 37, Olaf Kolzig. From the St. Louis Blues, number 38, PAVOL DEMITRA. From the Dallas Stars, number 56, Sergei Zubov. From the Pittsburgh Penguins, number 68, Jaromir Jagr. From the Buffalo Sabres, number 81, Miroslav Shatan. From your Toronto Maple Leafs, number 13, Max Sundin. The head coach for the World All-Stars is Scotty Bowman from the Detroit Red Wings. The assistant coach is Joel Quenneville of the St. Louis Blues. And now, let's meet the 2000 NHL All-Stars representing North America. From the St. Louis Blues, number 2, Al MacInnis. From the Los Angeles Kings, number 4, Rob Blake. From the New Jersey Devils, number 4, Scott Stevens. From the Calgary Flames, number 6, Phil Housley. From the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, number 9, Paul Kariya. From the Dallas Stars, number 9, Mike Modano. From the Chicago Blackhawks, number 10, Tony Amonte. From the Philadelphia Flyers, number 10, John LeClaire. From the Vancouver Canucks, number 11, Mark Messier. From the San Jose Sharks, number 11, Owen Nolan. From the Philadelphia Flyers, number 11, Mark Recchi. From the Detroit Red Wings, number 14, Brendan Shanahan. Jersey Devils, number 23, Scott Gomez. From the Detroit Red Wings, number 24, Chris Chelios. From the New Jersey Devils, number 30, Martin Brodeur. From the New York Rangers, number 35, Mike Richter. From the Philadelphia Flyers, number 37, Eric Chagin. From the St. Louis Blues, number 44, Chris Pronger. From the Boston Bruins, number 77, Ray Bourque. From the Phoenix Coyotes, number 97, Jeremy Roenick. And from your Toronto Maple Leafs, number 31, Curtis Joseph. Coaching for the North America All-Stars from the Toronto Maple Leafs, Pat Quinn.
That is a great sight. You are looking at the All-Stars who will be playing tomorrow on ABC at 2:30. We'll have that game, but when we come back, the FedEx NHL SuperSkills competition from Toronto.
Yep. Thanks. Got any sugar? Toothbrush? Hairdryer?
I love it when the man, it's the star of the Frito-Lay commercials, Mark Messier here. You know, some of us are just talking. It's nice to see some hockey players getting some North American exposure.
Well, it's the good of the companies to really acknowledge hockey, that it is becoming a fast-growing, entertaining sport in the U.S. And to be able to do something like that and to get the kind of response that it's gotten is, I think, is tremendous.
You've still got the smile on your face at these events, but one thing's missing, and that's Gretz.
Yeah, I think we're all a little saddened that he's not here. He was such an unbelievable fixture here at these All-Star games. He treated everybody, players, fans, media, all the people that helped out behind the scenes with equal respect, and I think our hearts are all a little bit heavier that he's not here.
Before I let you go, I got to ask you, at the end of that commercial, did that guy really take you down?
Hey, all us big actors have stunt doubles. Maybe.
Now I'm still guessing. Thanks.
Mark Messier, one of the veterans, of course, on hand here, and so is Raymond Bourque, who for the 18th time will appear in an All-Star game. So that first one, Barry, that we were talking about, to be remembered, you don't ever forget number one.
Well, I wish I would have had number one. Bottom line is, he said that the one in LA was very special to him. He was very nervous. It was a great game. But he also said the one in Boston when he got MVP was huge too.
So he and Messier, the veterans out there, those were shots from the first All-Star games that they
look a little different, Gary. They look a little different.
Just a little. not a whole lot in that commercial when he asked for the hairdryer. Yeah. You can understand time goes by and things change. And actually, for Mess, things haven't changed very much for the past few years, because most of that top came through a long time ago.
Actually, we're on the verge now in the NHL of younger guys taking over the Yagers, the Kariyas. Gretz is gone now. How much longer is Mess going to play? How much longer is Ray Bourque going to play? Ray talked to us this morning. He said that he might play one more year. He doesn't know. So we're on the verge of players taking those great old player spots.
Yep. All right, our FedEx SuperSkills competition about to begin. The first event is the puck control relay. Both speed and agility, as well as the ability to hang on to that puck. You go through those pylons out there. You got to maintain control. Disqualified if you run the course incorrectly. 1 point is awarded for each heat winner. There'll be 3 from the world, 3 from North America, who will go against one another as a group, and then we'll have a race 2 with a one-on-one.
And you got to think a little bit in this drill too. It's just not a no-brainer. You got to go to the right cones. You got to go in the right order. You got to go in the right direction. Solani, Elias, who's having an unbelievable year, and Sandis Ozolinsh. Those are 3 pretty good skaters.
They will go for the World All-Stars. The one ahead must come back before the second can go, and obviously the same for the third. You'll see the players skating around a lot out there because one of the things they have to do is try and stay loose, Bear.
Gary, this is a scary time for coaches and general managers because we've seen players hurt in this competition. Trevor Kidd got hurt in the one we were talking about for Florida. He still isn't back, so you're worried about a guy pulling a groin. Tony Amane, Phil Housley, Steve Yzerman. Those are 3 pretty good stick handlers. Phil Housley, what a year he's having for Calgary. Just got awarded a new contract, a new extension from Calgary. So
if you're wondering, Eric Lindros's name has not been mentioned here tonight. He has the flu, so Lindros is not participating in any of the events, so there'll be a couple of players jumping in where Eric Lindros would not have gone. We don't know how serious that flu is because just found out about it here tonight before the heroes came out to play.
And we just showed 3 names on each team, Gary. There's 4 players, as you mentioned, on each team. Sami Kapanen's there for the world team, and Mike McDonald is there for the North American team. So those are the groups of 4 that are going to battle against each other.
Madano, Housley, and Yzerman, and then there'll be the one-on-one race where Pavel Bure will go for the World All-Stars, and Paul Kariya is scheduled to be up in the second half. Sami Kapanen, rather, will go for the World All-Stars, and Paul Kariya will be in that second race in the one-on-one. But this is 3 for each team. This is a race where the first team to win will come away with a point. And Elias will be out there to start it against Mike Modano of Dallas. There is Mike Modano having another fine season, leading the Dallas Stars in scoring for a club that has been devastated by injuries through the first half. And they are off. Clocks are running. Take a look at Modano in the white and Patrick Elias in New Jersey. Patrick Elias is here as a substitute player. Peter Forsberg, who is out, of course, with a concussion. They pick the puck up, have to control it through the pilings. You can see Elias has got the early lead here on Mike Modano, and Modano lost control of the puck.
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we've lost contact. So Modano's still got to finish here. Elias done, and Sandis Ozolinsh, the #1 defensive scorer in the league, is already out and going as Phil Housley's got to get back. So the North American All-Stars have a lot of ground to pick up here.
Well, they need a mistake. They need the Europeans to lose a puck or go to the wrong cone, get bad direction. Someone's got to tell them to go to the wrong spot.
Housley had trouble with that one and lost it. Sandis Ozolinsh is up ahead. So Ozolinsh, if he doesn't lose control, is going to get in their head. But Housley picked up some ground.
A lot of ground.
Teemu Selanne now off for the World All-Stars, their third and last racer. And Steve Yzerman of Detroit. Yzerman tied right there among the leading scorers in the league at the All-Star break. Has got a lot of ground to make up with Teemu Selanne well out in front of him here for this first event, the puck control relay, and our winner is going to be the World All-Stars, Elias, Ozolinsh, and Selanne, as they beat Modano, Housley, and Yzerman.
Well, you can't make a mistake in this, Gary. Early, Modano lost the puck coming back. If you just make a 3 or 4 second thing, you're not going to add up because these guys aren't going to make a mistake. Mike comes through here. It's pretty close up to this point. Goes off his stick. Just can't get her back. Knows he's in trouble. Oh, what a terrible feeling. That used to happen to me in games.
Tony Amati is down on the ice. Tony, one of the things we talk about with players, there's a little nervousness about not making mistakes in these events, huh?
There's a lot of nervousness down here. You know, for me, I've been here before. I've fallen down on the fastest skater, so there's nothing to lose, really. Just go out there, have fun, and enjoy the night.
Tony, you got a new baby watching tonight. Is he staying up to see how Dad does?
Oh, he'll be up for sure. You know, I think he's definitely up with the wife, and we welcome Tristan to the world, and hopefully it's going to be a happy baby.
Here's the one-on-one. Pavel Bure in the red. Paul Kariya, or Sami Kapanen, rather, sorry, for the World All-Stars in the red. And Paul Kariya.
It's close.
This is very close. This is for another point here. Korea's got a bit of a lead, about a half a step. Hey.
I don't think he could have got a better North American player to do that for a 1-1 race than Paul Kariya. Sami Kapanen is fast as anyone in the world, but Kariya might be the fastest guy out there.
Watch the finish here, Barry. It was close.
Sammy's there. About a half a lead there, half a lead. Ooh, little jump at the end.
So the World All-Stars, World All-Stars win the three-man race, and North America will pick up a point from Paul Kariya. So after our first event, the puck control relay, the North American and World All-Stars are tied at 1 apiece. Super Skills competition continues when we come back.
Got your team a point. Great stuff.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Now, this type of event, we saw the first couple of guys, a little sluggish, not wanting to make a mistake, but you seem to go out there aggressive right off the hop.
Well, I think the key is to get a lead off the start. Then you can coast through the pylons. And not, when it's tough, you lose the puck in the pylons, you're dead, you know. So
I don't think people realize the kind of pressure that's on here in this kind of form.
Well, I think the biggest thing is you just don't want to make a mistake, but maybe try your best and do the best you can. Have fun out here.
Great stuff, Paul. That'll work.
Thanks, Dan.
Darren, thank you. The next competition will be the fastest skater. There will be 3 players involved for the North Americans and the World All-Stars. The all-time records in this regard, Gartner up there at 1 and 2, and Sergei Fedorov.
Well, you got to understand it's a little different this year. Only one person is racing, so they've changed the format a little bit. It's very important which direction you go in. Every player skates better one direction than the other on the corners, so if you're lucky enough to get the direction you're good at, that could pick you up a little bit of time also against a guy like Amadi who maybe goes to the right better than to the left. So a little bit of luck involved here which way you go.
Brzezinski, Bure, and Kapanen for the World. Gomez, Amadi, and Recchi for North America. And as Barry said, it used to be that they would be 2 going at once, but now they will go 1 at a time here. And the clock, of course, is what they are trying to beat. Peter Bondra was the winner last year. Bondra's won it twice. Gartner won it twice. Sergei Fedorov has won this competition twice, and Scott Niedermayer won it back in '98. Interesting that since we've had the change and gone to the North America against the World, Barry, the World All-Stars have won this skills competition both years.
Well, I'm a North American, I'm a Canadian. The Europeans are more skilled than North Americans. You're going to see the skills tonight. They're a little bit better at the stick handling, the hockey school drills, the in and out of the cones and stuff. The game tomorrow, you'll see more tic-tac-toeing, more going east to west, side to side with passes. The North Americans are straight ahead, north and south players, finishing checks, more of a power game than a skill game. So even in the skills, you see the difference in the 2 theories.
In the fastest skater, 1 point awarded to the squad with the best average time.
That's why we should have a body checking drill in this.
That's right. Then the Canadians would win, right?
Get a point. We need body checking involved.
You guys from the Prairie just never give up on that, eh? So a couple of points up for grab here with it 1-1 after our first Super Skills competition. Fastest skater ready to go here in front of the 18,000 plus sellout crowd on hand, obviously tomorrow for the All-Star game. Tickets at an absolute premium for that here in Toronto, and they have been for about the last year, as a matter of fact. Martin Brzezinski of Montreal. Scott Gomez will start for North America, but Brzezinski up.
One of the few Montreal players that stayed healthy all year, Gary. So Montreal's really been hit with injuries, and Marty Brzezinski's having a good year for Montreal.
Without Brzezinski, they would be already all the way out of it, and they're going to have a miracle in order to get into that playoff run. 14-1-2-2, the first time to beat here in our fastest skater competition.
A good number, not a great number. I would think one of the guys will beat that, whether on the world team or the North American team. So Scotty Gomez is going to run now, and that's an interesting story. He's not known as a real fast player. He's known more of a puck handler and a passer, so it's interesting that he's in there. A lot of people say he's got real deceptive speed. He's quicker than he looks, so we'll see here at the number if he can keep up with Brzezinski.
He is the #1 rookie scorer in the National Hockey League here at the All-Star break with the New Jersey Devils, and a great story, having grown up with hockey in Alaska, where he was raised. He's trying to beat 14-1-2-2. That's the mark he's trying to beat, and he's not going to do it. 15-0-2-5.
Well, again, Scotty, he's a good skater. He's not in the comparison to the Brzezinskis or the Bures, that type of speed. So it's going to be up to the other North Americans to maybe catch one of these guys.
Bear in mind now, 2 points up for grabs here. The team that has the fastest skater gets 1, and the team average gets another. See what we can do. The stumbles can cost you. He's trying to beat 14-1-2-2. Yep. 14-2, 7-8.
Made a couple mistakes on the turn. The skates grabbed and locked a couple times. He ran into the boards a little bit. Just like a bobsled. Isn't it when you catch the side coming down, it takes seconds away from you? Same thing happened with Valerie there. He was having great speed and great puck speed going around with. Pat was talking to him there. Got two left feet there, Valerie? What happened? Yeah, right there. He caught the feet, and then he caught the boards.
Tony Amati, second skater for the North American All-Stars. Tied for 11th in points at the All-Star break. Amati, after that 14-1-2-2 mark, Tony Amati is never known to take a dive. And he doesn't there. 14-1-8-4, still not besting Martin Rosinski's time.
Again, you make your speed in the straightaways. You got to keep it in the corners. Tony got Colson a little bit there. Lost a little bit going into the finish there. Stretched out like a sprinter. Little Donovan Bailey there. Just couldn't because we're in Canada.
That's right.
And the Kapanen speed's going to be interesting. This guy can fly.
Sami Kapanen, third in points for Carolina. You make time up on these turns. Kapanen, the last skater for the World All-Stars. And 14-1-2-2 is beaten. There's the best time.
Again, Sami Kapanen deserves to be here. This guy is having a great season. Over 20 goals. Has been good from the start of the season to the end. Carolina's been erratic at times. This guy just plays all the time. Mark Recchi's up. This guy could win it. This guy's quick.
He's going to need to now. Bear in mind, not only looking for the fastest skater, but the average time for each of these teams is worth a point. Mark Recchi, second leading scorer in the league, has had a great first half with Philadelphia. Slipped a little bit, lost a step there. Looking to be 13-6-4-9, won't. 14-2-9-5.
Kapanen strong. You get under 13. Those are tough numbers. You get under that. You get in the 13s. You're going to be tough to beat.
Sami Kapanen, 5 of the 7 years prior to this, the winner was under 14. And Sami Kapanen at 13-6-4-9 has come away with the fastest skater number here this year. And the world also had the best average at 14.016. Kapanen, our winner, fastest skater. Bill?
Well, Gary, a guy that's been involved in our overall process is Chris Pronger. He's working on ESPN.com, keeping a diary. How's that going?
Well, actually, I got it right here.
Wow, like it's going to be with you when you're out there?
Well, not quite. I just keep it on the bench. It's on the pines, as you might say.
Your St. Louis guys, your teammates are watching you back home. Would you like to say hello to anybody?
Well, I think Mark Bergevin needs a special pat on the back. I was just talking to Al MacInnis, and he said he's going to have to stop carrying him.
So that's a very nice wish for Mark Bergevin.
That's a sweet wish for him, yeah.
Gary, talk about a combination, Al MacInnis and that man. You stand next to him when he's got his skates on. It's like Mount McKinley. Hardest shot in the National Hockey League. Al MacInnis, 100 miles an hour. Yeah, he can reach that. We'll see if he does it tonight.
Places them with an additional goal, so after 2 events, the score now, the World 3, North America 1. In a few moments, we'll be back with the hardest shot.
Toronto, a beautiful winter evening here. The world in the SuperSkills competition has the early 3-1 lead. Hardest shot competition coming up. He's with them right now, Bill Clement.
Yeah, Gary, this should possibly be renamed the Al MacInnis competition. He's won this 5 times, including the last 3 years, but you're just coming off a collapsed lung. You got 1 game under your belt. Where are you physically?
Well, obviously a little bit short, but, you know, I felt good enough to play. The doctors gave me the green light, and if I don't win this today, at least I got an excuse to fall back on.
Is the plan going to be the same, just kind of grip and rip it?
Absolutely. There's no other way in this competition. The guys are getting bigger and stronger every year, and it's getting tougher to win.
Good luck.
Thanks, Billy.
How hard does that man shoot, Bill? Hard enough that a couple of goaltenders wish he'd let up a little bit, including Jocelyn Thibault. There have been 2 netminders who have taken shots in their glove hand side on this guy, Barry, and have suffered for it.
He's got a scary shot on the bench. When you get down close to him, you see him run a power play. He walks into the top of the circles there. 3 options. You score, you miss the net, or you hit the goalie. There's no other options. The goalie isn't going to be able to make adjustments and come out and make a glove save. Right there, Thibault got it with those gloves, and those gloves are spectacular. Those gloves are super. You got big pockets. You got a big sweet zone for it to hit. If it just catches your fingers wrong, it'll break your fingers, and that's what happened to Jocelyn there.
Top three over 100 miles an hour in the winners who have won this. And as Bill said, Al MacInnis has won it 5 times. Eli Afraidy has won it 3 times. Dave Manson has been the only other winner. World shooters, Nicky Lidstrom, Dmitry Yaskevich, Pavel DEMITRA, and Radek Bonk will be shooting for the world.
I think Radek Bonk might have the hardest shot of that group. I don't think he can beat the MacInnis numbers if MacInnis is healthy, but Bonk can shoot a puck.
It'll be the best miles per hour shot of 2 taken. That's the one they'll pick the highest. And you got some guys who can really gun it, measured, of course, on the radar gun.
You know what's interesting here is Canada's metric. It's going to be interesting. No one knows what miles per hour are in Canada anymore.
Are we converted?
This is a kilometer country now.
We tried in the United States to go that route 10, 15 years ago and didn't get anywhere with it. All right, first to 2, Nicky Lidstrom. You'll get the reading immediately.
Good numbers. Good numbers. Nicky's what a player this guy is. Never won the Norris Trophy. Could easily have won it a couple times. Just a fabulous, fabulous defenseman.
Now he gets a second shot, and it'll be the better of the 2 averages that will count for him. Lidstrom's second chance at 95. So it'll be 95.1. Pretty consistent on those 2 shorts by Nicky Lidstrom. Will be the captain of the World All-Stars in the game tomorrow here in Toronto.
The good shooters in this competition tell you that you'd like to keep it about a foot off the ice. Not on the ice and not right up under the bar, but a foot off the ice.
Chris Pronger for North America. You got a mountain winds up. Man.
You like that power play. MacInnis to Pronger, 99. Pronger to MacInnis, 103.
Pronger's second. That one at 97. So Pronger will take the first, 99.4, and that's the best so far.
Norris Trophy's given out today. Chris Pronger gets it as far as I'm concerned. What a year he's having.
He is a huge presence, a defenseman who rarely makes mistakes and contributes offensively as well. From Toronto, hometown player, of course, Dmitry Yaskevich on his first shot. 95.2 on the first one. The squad with the best average takes up a point here, and 1 for the player who's got the highest number. Dmitry Yaskevich, 96.5. Yaskevich with a couple, 96.5 the best. The second shot that he took. The second of 4 shooters representing the World All-Stars. John LeClair from Philadelphia and St. Albans, Vermont. And he hits the 100 mark.
We always have fun with John because you remember a couple years ago, John missed the net on this competition. So
second chance, 99.3. So big to help the average, and now the best single mark so far at 100.
John's heating up now for Philadelphia. He looks, he's the old John LeClair again.
Help the average, that's it. Hey, you guys
Hopes that's all he has to do. Pavel DEMITRA from the St. Louis Blues at 96 on his first of 2. Radek Bonk, Rob Blake, Al MacInnis still to shoot. Second chance for Pavel DEMITRA. And 92.7, so his first shot at 96.3 is his best. LeClair, though, has got the mark to beat at that even 100 miles an hour. Among the leading scorers in the NHL, as was anticipated. And
he started slow. He didn't have a great start. Yeah. He's just been on fire of late.
Now Rob Blake. And that's 99.9.
Real heavy shot, too. Blake really's got a heavy shot.
Mercy. Second for Blake. Man. 99.9 is best, but both of them over 99 miles an hour. John McClare is our leader right now.
Yeah.
John, you got some pretty good log on that one.
That one I kind of leaned into a little more than I usually do. Actually, the first time I ever hit the century mark.
That's what I thought. Remember a couple years ago, Johnny, you missed the net. We don't know if you could have got 100 that year.
I think everybody knows I missed the net a couple years ago.
John, you got permission to beat him up after tonight. We'll hold him up here for you. Radek Bonk taking a couple here from Ottawa, 93.9. Does not best the 100 mark of LeClair.
I think Radek's nervous. He could, I'm surprised at those numbers. And he's a big, strong horse. He's always been able to shoot the puck hard.
John, that 100 going to hold up here? This is the man.
102. That better not hold up.
Oh.
That better not hold up.
That's not fair.
LeClair.
He better hit this one harder. He better hit it harder.
Second chance. Al MacInnis, 88.4. But Al MacInnis missed John LeClair by LeClair loves the winner. Look at this. Al MacInnis, a collapsed lung that was blown up this past week to allow him to come back and play in a game.
He watched them blow it up.
Can you believe that? He watched the procedure and said it was fascinating.
And they thought he was going to be out 3 to 4 weeks. He was back in like 8-9 days.
And not play here. And lo and behold, Al MacInnis has won it again. 6th time.
They should just give him a nice trophy and let someone else win.
Wow. Hardest shooter competition. Let's check in right now on ice with the public address announcer. Andy Frost.
John, best of luck. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Hockey League's Hockey Fights Cancer program has not only raised awareness about cancer, but through its fundraising initiatives like the Hockey Fights Cancer Dodge online auction, Hockey Fights Cancer has raised $1.3 million so far this season. Please welcome NHL referee Paul Stewart along with his son Macaulay.
That's quite a reception for a referee. Should we try that again? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like you to say hello to my boy, Macaulay Johnson. The reason I fought so hard to come back to my life in the National Hockey League. Mesdames et messieurs, les amateurs de Québec, bonjour mon gars, Macaulay Johnson. Le reason je bataille avec le cancer. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been asked to represent many of our fellow athletes, Gordie Howe, Billy Harris, as well, Mario Lemieux, Ed Shack, Peter Mahovlich, John Cullen, Rocket Richard, and of course, our good friend, l'instructeur, Roger Nielsen. Je dis pour mes amis, merci beaucoup pour votre assistance avec le Fund de Hockey Better Cancer. Thank you very much for your assistance in the fight with Hockey Fights Cancer. This weekend, I'm proud to say, here in Toronto, and you can be proud of yourselves, with our online auction, we've raised over $500,000, and we're skating toward 1 million. Whether it's human beings on this side of the dasher, or those of you on the other side of the dasher, we've all been touched by cancer. We don't have to look very far to know that we're in a tough fight. But the dollars that you have helped us raise in the past year and a half, nearly $3 million, will assist others like me who had to fight this fight to come out successfully. I thank you very much for my teammates. I thank you for all those in the future who will fight the fight. And I thank you very much for letting me be here tonight with my son. Thank you.
Paul Stewart being recognized by the fans here in Toronto. The World All-Stars and the North American All-Stars tied at 3-3 after the hardest shot competition. John LeClair looked like a winner at 100 miles an hour, but hang on. Al MacInnis, the winner again at 100.1. That ties it, 3-3. Welcome back, everybody. Our All-Star Weekend in Toronto. Gary Thorne, Barry Melrose, Bill Clement, Darren Pang, and all of our crew. SuperSkills competition. Great stars got together on a pond yesterday.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
You don't have time.
What's mine on?
No.
Okay, I'm Gretzky today.
What position? Right here.
How you doing? Huh?
When I was 7, I went to the barbershop. I said, I want a Gordie Howe haircut.
Shave it back. Great. You got a lot of time on your hands at practice, don't you? What's that?
You can never do enough for the game, you guys.
The All-Star Game, 2:30 Eastern Time on ABC tomorrow. What an incredible afternoon. Those players got together about an hour away from Toronto on a pond to help us with a shoot to provide some video for the game tomorrow.
You're being very on a freezing day.
On a freezing day.
It was cold the day they did that.
Man, oh man. All right, let's check in with Darren Pang. Darren?
Thanks, fellas. I know that Owen Nolan would do something that those guys did on a pond north of here for an hour playing outdoor hockey. Does it remind you a little bit about going back in time, playing here in Toronto for the All-Star Game?
Well, it's definitely fun being so close to friends and family. A chance to see them again. You don't get that during the season too often, so to be here, it's real special.
I know now why Dominik Hasek decided not to show up. We go back to the All-Star Game in San Jose, and I believe they're playing that right now, but that was one of the great moments in All-Star history. You pointed and actually going top shelf.
Well, that was a special weekend. To play in front of your hometown crowd is one thing, and then to score a couple goals and then get a hat trick. The whole event was just a great time.
And here you're getting ready for the shooting competition. I know you're anxious to get out there. Is there one specific thing you're looking at here?
Try and put at least one in.
Attaboy, Owen. Good stuff. Thanks. Fellas?
We never were quite sure if Babe Ruth pointing for the home run was real, but in Owen Nolan's case, it was real. This is a goaltender event in the rapid fire competition. The lowest goals against average from rapid fire, and then the breakaway relay determine the goaltender winners, both individually and for the teams, either the North American or the World All-Stars. So this rapid fire event we're going to see is the goaltenders. And Mike Richter of the New York Rangers will be in net, a .913 save percentage and a .261 goals against coming into the All-Star break. The way it will work, shooters will line up and let her rip. Each player shoots 5 pucks in 10 seconds. Rebound shots are allowed, and a point awarded to the goaltender for the fewest goals allowed. The world team shooters here in Toronto for this event. PAVOL DEMITRA. Miroslav Shatin will shoot against Richter. Matt Sundin, Milan Hajduk against Martin Brodeur. Jaromir Jagr and Pavel Bure against Curtis Joseph.
What I saw at the American League All-Star Game, one of the players came in, flipped the puck up in the air, and as the goalie was watching that puck in the air and catching it, he shot one along the ice and scored. It was the greatest thing I ever saw. It worked to a T. I wonder if anyone will try that.
All the players moved to center ice. You talk about being the center of attention. Mike Richter will be in net here. PAVOL DEMITRA tied for 8th in scoring in the league. 0 for 1. 0 for 2. Richter fine save. 0 for 3. 0 for 4. And
Gary,
5 saves.
When the New York Rangers were struggling at the start of the year, this one guy, Mike Richter, gave them a chance to be where they are now. He kept it tight so that when all these great players the Rangers went out and got started playing, they're in a playoff spot right now. But that guy carried them on his back alone at the start of the season. He was spectacular, Mike Richter was.
Mike Richter's got to stay in here against the second shooter. Miroslav Shatin off the post on that one, didn't go in. Richter's got him going every way but loose, and that's outside.
That's going to be tough to beat with the shooters. No goals.
10 saves on 10 shots.
Got to feel good about himself right there. Paul.
Wow. And congratulatory smiles.
Big smile.
Mike Richter.
That was pretty good. good. I felt good in there.
He represents the North American goaltenders, of course. The North American shooters now. Owen Nolan, Steve Yzerman against Tommy Salo. Mike Modano, John LeClaire against Olaf Kolzig. Jeremy Roenick and Joe Sack against Roman Turek. Roman Turek here, of course, because Dominic Hasek unable to play in this one. Owen Nolan will start it out. Owen Nolan denied once. One save. There's the first goal we've seen. Another save, and time ran out on him before he got the other one off. 4.
So you got to decide, are you going to go slow and try and score 1 or 2? Or you're going to go full speed and get all 5 shots in. So Nolan went a little slower there, tried to score early and get a couple. Didn't work. He got 1. So at least they're winning 1-0 right now.
They'll go back and forth between the World and North American All-Star shooters. Steve Yzerman now will shoot against Tommy Salo. Yzerman, 9th All-Star appearance for him. That one hit the iron, and Tommy Salo knocks it away. Salo of the Edmonton Oilers, 8th in goals against, coming to the All-Star break, and good work on Yzerman.
Stevie went a little bit faster, made sure he got all 5 shots in the time allowed, and he got a goal, so it worked out well for Nolan and Yzerman.
8 saves for Salo, 10 for Richter in the first goaltender matchup.
Look how acrobatic Mike Richter is. Look at that save. That's on a good player. PAVOL Dimitri's a great offensive player. Right here, he slips one on the ice. Tweeners, 5-hole. 600 goals scored, not a bad player.
Bound to get one, aren't you?
I think personally the best captain in the NHL today is Steve Yzerman.
Tommy Salo, there you see. 8 saves. Martin Brodeur, the winningest goaltender at the All-Star break with 31. 2.16 goals against. That's 7th. Martin Brodeur, Matt Sundin. Look at him move. Talk about movement. Oh, what a move. Sundin could not get it by.
No goals for the world players in 3 tries. Man.
Hey, Martin Brodeur made some tremendous moves here.
What about the Vezina battle this year? You got Martin having the year he is. Cujo's having the year he is.
Don't forget Eddie Belfour.
Eddie Belfour.
Milan Hajduk, Colorado. Led all rookie scorers last year. Martin Brodeur came out to get him. Didn't give him an angle.
Those big men, those big goalies move so fast. They're so agile on their feet. They can go side to side. You get too close, they poke the puck.
8 saves on 10 shots.
Did I give him much?
This is goaltender talk.
Kids at home, don't listen to this. You won't be able to figure it out. This is strictly the union can talk in there. They know what they're saying. No one else does.
Olaf Kolzig from Washington. 22 wins, tied for 4th with Eddie Belfour. Mike Modano, the first man out against him. Quick shots by Modano, trying to get him moving, got him down, and rattle that one around the cage. Good work by Kolzig, though. Kolzig facing 2 shooters. He got 4 saves on that one.
And again, a lot of people are wondering why Ole Kolzig is playing for the world team. It's sort of an interesting story. He was born in South Africa, I believe. His father traveled a lot. So he played most of his minor hockey in Canada, grew up in Edmonton, but technically he's on the world team.
And John LeClaire, one of the North American shooters against Olaf Kolzig. LeClaire out deep on him, trying to get quick shots through the middle. And he got that one on the move as he picked up 1. But a good outing for Kolzig as he picks up 8 saves against Modano and LeClaire. Now the hand for Curtis Johnson.
I'll tell you, give any coach any of these 6 goalies that are in here, you're going to win a lot of games.
Jaromir Jagr, questionable as to whether or not he was going to be appearing here at this All-Star game, as he's had a rib cage muscle problem, as well as a bad hand, a thumb that he thinks is broken but doesn't want to know about it.
He's only leading the league, what, 19 points?
He's the leading scorer, 2nd in goals, 1st in assists, 1st overall in points. Curtis Joseph and Jaromir Jagr, 2 All-Stars going at it. Fans, of course, for Curtis Joseph, their hometown here. And he stole it. 5 saves. Richter has 10 saves, leading the goaltenders we've seen so far. If Joseph can do it again, 5 for 5, he would tie the best mark individually with Richter's 10 saves.
But now he's going against, I think, the most exciting offensive player in the NHL today, Pavel Bure. What a year this guy's having.
Rewriting the books, Pavel Bure goes one down the middle, has to go back to get the puck. 5 pucks out there, 10 seconds to shoot it. None yet. Can he do it? Pavel Bure, the move! Put one in. So 9 saves total as he got 4 there, but Bure got him on a backhand.
So
Curtis Joseph.
Bure went side to side so quick, it was unbelievable. Faked the forehand. Cujo had to bite because he's got such a great shot. Sneaked it to his backhand, put it in the side. Cujo's got to respect that forehand right there. Just too quick going side to side. Oh, Cujo feels bad. He wanted that one bad.
Wanted it bad.
In front of these people, he wanted 10. He wanted 10 saves.
Roman TUREK, 27 wins, second best. His 2.04 goals against, third best at the All-Star break. Roman TUREK has had a spectacular year. Going against Jeremy Roenick.
Biggest goaltender size-wise playing in this game. Huge. Takes away so much of the net, just physically dominating. St. Louis took a little bit of a flyer on him. He never played much for Dallas last year. Joe Quenneville and Larry Plow look very, very smart right now, getting rid of Grant Fuhr and keeping this youngster, Roman TUREK.
Joe Sakic, our last shooter in this rapid-fire event. The North American goaltenders, Richter Brodeur and Joseph, 27 saves. 4 on that round right there for Roman TUREK. Now Sakic out here. Joe Sakic trying to get quick shots. That one out of the glove. And TUREK comes away with 9. So Salo had 8 saves, Kolzig 8, and Roman TUREK 9 for a total of 25. The North American goaltenders win that round. Richter, Brodeur, and Joseph better by 2 in the total department to give North America a 4-3 lead.
TUREK's more of a stand-up goaltender. He uses that size. He's not a flopper and a butterflyer like the other goaltenders.
Martin Brodeur writing some numbers this year. Let's check in with Darren.
Thanks, Thorny. You won. You guys won the competition. Looks like Milan Hajduk had a little bit of success there, but awfully good.
Yeah, it's kind of tough a little bit. It's tough for them. You know, they don't have much time, so they got to shoot quickly. So if you get your angle, you know, you'll be okay. But I guess Colorado guys did really well against me. It's part of the game, I guess.
Last year when you ended it, wasn't it Yager one-on-one with you, and you made a couple of unbelievable saves?
That's what happens when you get voted. You get the best, like Cujo's just did. You know, I had Yager and Solani last year, so I made it hard.
Thanks, Marty. Now let's go over to Billy Clement. Bill?
Darren, thanks very much. With Scott Gomez, one of 2 rookies that is competing in the skills competition and will be playing tomorrow in the All-Star game. So did you ask to be in that fastest skater thing?
Yeah, I figured, you know, I got the most speed here, so I let my talent show, but things didn't work out, I guess.
You're kidding, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's not good when Randy McKay beats you.
Hey, listen, I got, before you go, probably 95% of the population of Alaska is watching you, so this is your time to say hey.
Everyone in Anchorage, how's it going? Wish you all could be here, and we'll see you this summer.
Hey, go East High Thunderbirds, right?
East High Thunderbirds, there it is, all right.
I'll tell you, the kid never stops smiling. You talk about someone happy to be here? Mike Richter came away with 10 saves. Then we continue on with our skills competition. North America leading by 1. There's 1. There's 2. No. There's 3. Ray Bourque. High over the crossbar. Ray Bourque. He got it. That's a live shot, and he nailed it. And Raymond Bourque is going to try and do that again as he will be competing in the accuracy shooting contest coming up next. Down to Bill Clement.
Well, Gary, Ray Bourque was just saying as you were running that clip of him hitting 4 in 4, you said, what did you say about that?
I think that was a while ago.
So you don't think you got it in? You sure you do?
Well, I might get lucky again. You never know.
You've won this event 6 times. Tell us the order of the targets that you're going to go for.
I usually start with the bottom left, and hopefully I hit that. And usually I'm not sure. I think I do both bottom corners, and I go up top.
Dan Patrick wants to know if you'll go on his radio show, will you?
I'd love to, anytime. Tell him to give me a call.
I'll do that. Good luck, Ray.
Right.
He's just not going to give him the number. Radek Bonk out there, our first shooter for the World All-Stars, and he hit 1. It'll be Bonk Miroslav Shatan, Miro Zukowski, and Victor Kozlov for the World All-Stars. Our first shooter, 1 hit, 8 shots. Going after the target. The passers for the North American All-Stars will be Steve Yzerman and Paul Kariya. Brendan Shanahan tied for 17th among point men at the All-Star break. Is shooting now for the North American Stars. 1 for 1. Passing important here because you got to put that one on the stick so they do not lose time, and also give them a chance to get as fluid a shot off as you can.
And you got to get a goal early. That's what happened with Radek Bonk. He missed a couple early. That really put him in the hole. You get nervous. Shanny hit one early. He looked like he was on a roll. Thought he was going to get it.
So Brendan Shanahan, the first shooter, picks up 3. We do have a target cam working as well. And
I think we had a target cam.
It's gone.
$1 million technology
what's
down
another
the
$1 million
drain.
down the tube? We'll just send a bill to Brendan. Shanahan can pay for that.
Can't we just get a real short guy in there with a camcorder? It'd be a lot cheaper for the company.
Matt Sundin and Teemu Selanne are the passers for the World All-Stars. Their second shooter from Buffalo, Miroslav Shatan. Just checking things out with Selanne here. North America leading here in our SuperSkills competition, 4-3. We are in the accuracy shooting event. Last year, Ray Bork, Jeremy Roenick, and Keith Tkachuk all tied on it. We're trying to get as many hits, 4, with as fewer number of shots as possible. That's what you're after.
3. Ooh, that was close. You got him.
You don't have to break him. You do have to touch him. And see Shatan give it that little hey as he got 4 on 8 shots that time.
Well, Miroslav, we all know Buffalo's not in the playoffs right now. Miroslav is really one of the Buffalo Sabres that is having as good a season this year as he had last season. Really playing well.
Second shooter for the All-Stars from North America.
Just missed it the shot before. Just missed it the shot before.
Will be Mark Messier. Messier working here, 14-time All-Star, 5th all-time in goals scored. 10 seconds is the time you get. As many shots as you can get off here. He's gotten 1 down low and maybe 2. He got 2.
And he got 1 early. I thought Mess was going to. He's won this competition before. I thought he was going to get on a roll there when he got that 1 early, but just couldn't keep it up.
You're right, though, Bear. What matters most of those first couple of shots?
Got to get a good start. You hit 1 early, boy. You're on fire. You're confident, and then you can go from there. If you miss the first 2, you become dejected, a little bit down, and then your shots it hurts your shooting from there.
Shatan, our leader right now individually, with a 4 for 8. Teemu Selanne working with Sundin on the passing here. Zukowski of the New York Islanders, 18 goals, 19 assists on the season, coming into the All-Star break.
One of the few
starts.
Polish players in the NHL, Gary. Him and Kristola, one of my favorite players.
Hang on, 2 for 2. He went to the left side and got the 2 there. He's got 5 seconds left.
Right brain, left brain thing there?
Looks like it. Instead of the top bottom. He got it, though. Well, Zukowski picks up 4 hits and 7 shots. That's the best mark so far in hitting 4 with the fewest shots.
Dinged it. Good shot.
Got that one to take the lead.
Players like this competition. They like this contest right here a lot.
Now Jeremy Roenick. Roenick squaring up top of the slot here.
There's 2.
He's got 2. He also went to the left side for him. Now trying to blast down low, and that's what he'll end up with.
What a year JR's having. He's playing as well and as hard and as consistent as I've ever seen him play.
He is 5th overall in scoring. Jeremy Roenick in the National Hockey League right now. Zukowski of the Islanders, still our individual leader here. 4 hits and 7 shots. Only 1 shooter left for each team. And the World All-Stars, it'll be Victor Kozlov from Florida, tied for 13 in points by a Florida team that's surprised a lot of people this year. He goes down low to get a couple. 2 for 2. 3 for 3. Can he go 4 for 4? Just missed that one. Could be a leader with 1. Yeah, he is.
I don't think Ray Bork was hoping for that. I think Ray would have liked 4 and 7.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd like 4 and 5. Good passes.
the 1-4 from Matt Sundin and Teemu Selanne. So Viktor Kozlov, our leader now with 4 hits and just 5 shots. And now Raymond Bourque. Bourque has had huge success. He was tied last year for the lead in this. They set the clock. He's done 4 for 4 before. 1 for 1, 2 for 2. Raymond Bourque, 3 for 3. Raymond Bourque. Oh! He can tie for the best team.
And he just missed 4 for 4.
Raymond Bourque and Viktor Kozlov, each 4 for 5.
Check that one target. I think there's a black mark on that target. It was close when he went upstairs there.
Give me a little pressure and watch me go.
Kozlov.
Took him 5. Ray Bourque. Count him. 1, 2, 3. And
watch this one. Watch this one. Post.
Ray Bourque going into the Hall of Fame as soon as he takes those skates off for a final game. 4 hits and 5 shots, and folks, we've got a 5-5 tie for the North American and World All-Stars. How about that? Gotta like that. As the world went 13 for 28 on the shorts, and North America 11 for 29. That's why we are even up here with that point apiece. Hey, we could get an OT here. The skills competition.
Yeah.
Great to have you with us, everybody. Welcome back to Toronto. This is always such a great event. The players enjoy this, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we do bringing it to you. Here on ESPN, Gary Thornberry, Melrose, Darren Pang, Bill Clement downstairs there, and Darren Pang has got one of those netminders we just saw. Darren.
Gary, I've got Ole the goalie right here, and I could hide behind his pads for a week and no one would find me. Ole, you've got the breakaway competition coming up. I know it's not an easy one since you've been standing around a little bit. What do you do to prepare for this sucker?
Well, I feel like hiding behind a pair of pads right now. I'm pretty nervous. I mean, you know, you face these guys all year long, but nothing like this. It's pressure packed, but I'm having a lot of fun with it.
One of the guys you're going to be facing will be Paul Kariya, one of the guys that everybody knows in the league's got pretty quick hands.
Well, I mean, pick one. You can pick any kind of number of guys here. They all have quick hands, but no, he's obviously a special player, and he's the last guy facing this thing. So I'd like to end this skills competition with a bang and rob him, hopefully.
Ole, it's great to see your Washington Capitals doing so well, and you too.
Thanks, Banger.
Okay, guys.
Okay, Darren, thank you very much. Mike Richter's not given anything up yet. See whether or not, if he stops all 6 here, he'll win the goalie competition. All of these goals count now that are scored in this event. We got 18 skaters and 3 goaltenders per squad.
What's interesting, Richter's going to go against 4 Eastern players that he knows well and 2 Western players, Burry and Selanne, that he doesn't know well. So you would think he would have an advantage against the 4 Eastern players that he plays so much against.
Peter Busick will be leading it off from Atlanta, the rookie out of the Czech Republic, against Mike Richter. And Richter's right there with the glove. Boy, Richter is really on tonight.
You don't expect him to score on Mike tonight. He just looks so sharp.
Dmitry Yuskevich out of Toronto will get one.
And a goal, and the defenseman gets one on him.
Now he's going to get back to the line before the next player can go. Zerkowski into the Islanders. Wow.
Marius Zerkowski is a talented player, very talented player.
Sami Kapanen from Carolina. That'll be deflected off the goaltender's stick. Here's Bure. Bure in. Richter with a big-time spread on that one. And Teemu Selanne, the last shooter against Richter. Top shelf, and it hit the crossbar and came out.
Try for the peanut butter jar. Hit the door.
Oh, Richter was mighty tough tonight.
So aggressive. The 2 guys that beat him deked him. They got him out to the top of the crease. Mike couldn't get back to the side, but you just see the speed of these guys right here. Look at this save. Those are quick hands by Burry. Mike read him, came across the left pad, made a great save.
So all the goals count here. The score now is 7-5 overall in favor of the World All-Stars here in our competition. All the goals count, and the saves count at the other end. Rob Blake against Tommy Salo of the Edmonton Oilers. Chris Chelios of Detroit. Shot that one wide. Scott Stevens of New Jersey. Tommy Salo of Edmonton, the netminder in for the World All-Stars. Scott Gomez from the New Jersey Devils, the rookie. He rocked that one off the post. John LeClaire from the Philadelphia Flyers. LeClaire, top shelf backhand. Oh my.
You should get 2 for that, Gary. One's not enough.
Sallow.
Bobby Sallow's really playing well for Edmonton right now. He's really solidified that goaltending situation there. Edmonton's in a playoff situation, playoff spot now in that Western Conference, really playing sharp. Watch this save. Watch this play. Fakes a forehand, backhand. The goalie goes down. Oh, straight up under the bar, right in your feet.
The World All-Stars now lead 7-6 as North America gets a point picked up there. If we have a tie, we're going to have a shootout, bear in mind. We've still got 2 sets of shooters and goaltenders to go through here. Martin Brodeur is in net, and Nicky Lidstrom of the Red Wings the first shooter. Nicky Lidstrom, ooh, we got that one.
Posting in, that's the only way you score against Martin. Got to be a perfect shot.
You can do that. That one up in the air and wide of the net. No goal on it. Vito Swoboda. Swoboda trying to go 5-hole, doesn't get there. Pavel DEMITRA of the St. Louis Blues against Brodeur. Did that cross the line? Yes, it did. Radek Vog from the Ottawa Senators. Martin Brodeur forced him high and over the crossbar. Pavel Bure waiting. He'll be the last shooter against Brodeur. Bure, and he just got it through.
Well, we can see Bure facing Brodeur, maybe the Eastern Conference Finals. Those two teams, both of them in the playoffs, both of them playing great right now. Marty thought he had him, it just trickled through his legs across the line. Marty's not happy with that one. He'd like to have that one back. Great. Look at that. Oh. Post to post right in the far side.
Nicklas Lidstrom, Pavel DEMITRA, Pavel Bure got the goal, so the world takes a 10-6 lead over North America.
We need some goals.
Need some goals. Other end, Eric Desjardins against Olaf Kolzig. Olaf Kolzig in net of the Washington Capitals. Phil Housley, the deke. Housley. Oh, how'd he score that?
I know. How'd that go in?
He fooled himself and scored. Here comes Mark Messier. Messier, the backhander, got Kolzig under the bar.
He's done that before, Gary.
Here's Owen Nolan of the San Jose Sharks, 5-hole closed. Mark Recchi of Philadelphia against Olaf Kolzig. Recchi, the league's second leading scorer, not this time. Paul Kariya will be the last shooter for the North American All-Stars on Kolzig. Tried to drill it home and could not do it.
2 goals are scored, both forehand to the backhand up over the shoulder, Gary. Exact same way.
Yep, Housley got one, Mark Messier got the other.
Only giving somebody credit. Watch this.
It is very tight. The World All-Stars 10, the North American All-Stars 8. We're down to our last group of shooters. Curtis Joseph will be in net. Roman Turek, when we go the other way, is the other goaltender left. And it's to be decided here in our skills competition between the North American and World All-Stars. Curtis Joseph, Sergei Zubov. Blocker save.
Kuja's got to shut the door to give the North Americans a chance here.
Victor Kozlov in, right through the middle.
Little smile, smirk.
Milan Hajduk from the Avalanche. Tried to run that one wide and couldn't pull it back. Martin Rosinski, the Canadiens, roofed it. He got it up and under. Jaromir Jagr, Pittsburgh Penguins, off the glove and out. Last shooter against Curtis Joseph. Matt Sundin, his teammate. Beat him like a renegade.
And you know how much bugging is going to be in that dressing room now in Toronto? Cujo will say something, Matt Sundin, well, you sure did a great job in the All-Star game. I ate you up. Well, look at him. He knows it too. Look at him. He's looking for Cujo to make eye contact with Cujo there.
All right, last group of shooters, 13-8. The world on top against the North American All-Stars. Roman Turek of the St. Louis Blues. Raymond Bourque. They need 5 to tie. Chris Pronger. The move. Ooh, good save by Roman Turek.
Done that in practice a few times.
Wow, Brendan Shanahan from Detroit. Shanahan puts one through. I think Mike Madonna or Ray Whitney of Florida. Ray Whitney denied. Steve Yzerman, the captain of the Red Wings, on Roy. Caught the corner on Roman Turek.
Same play Shanahan shot.
Last shooter, Joe Sakic, Colorado, and he scores.
All 3 goals shorthand side. That's interesting. All Western Conference guys have scored on them.
Mike Richter will win the goaltender competition. competition, giving up just 1 goal, 14 saves for him, beating Tommy Salo by 1 as Salo had 13. So Richter with the 14 saves, the goaltending winner, and the World All-Stars come away with a victory in the skills competition with 13 overall points. North America has 11. And for the 3rd time in all 3 of these skill competitions where it's been the world against North America, the world players come away with the win. And now they can relax and smile. They don't have to worry about embarrassing themselves anymore, and they certainly didn't here. Bure denied by Mike Richter. But again, as it is every year, Barry Melrose, with these players, you get all kinds of smiles and some great talent.
This competition favors the Europeans. We talked about it earlier in the game. They're more skilled in those situations. I thought Mike Richter was fantastic, looked very sharp, and I thought Ray Bourque in that shooting is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Put the pressure on him. Well, the crowd standing here in Toronto. Konstantinov being brought out on the ice. His Detroit Red Wing teammates still emotional. The accident that ended his career, but thank God not his life. And he was brought here by the league and by the teams to be recognized, and Eddie Shore's with him. Eddie Shore, I'm sorry. Konstantinov for the Detroit Red Wings. Recognized here by the 18,000 plus in Toronto. We'll be back to wrap up our All-Star Saturday. Back in Toronto, Sami Kapanen, the winner in the fastest skater competition. Al MacInnis with the hardest shot. Kozlov and Bourque tied for the shooting accuracy. Richter, the #1 goaltender, but the world beat North America 13-11. The picture time has arrived in Toronto. These players, of course, are going to go against one another in the All-Star game instead of the individual competition. And because you do have the world against North America, teammates against teammates, end up playing against one another. Got everybody out there on the ice now as they brought out some of the heroes joining with the current stars for a huge group picture. The Winter X Games are going to be coming up. Susie is standing by as soon as we've completed our work here in Toronto. We have our All-Star Saturday to wrap up for you when we return.